Every coffee needs a lotus.
Welcome back to our afternoon session with none other than Sir Roger Colliantes. We thank you, our Zoom participants, FB Live participants, LinkedIn, and of course our audience via YouTube live stream. Thank you for supporting us and being with us today. For those of you who have just typed in their question, we thank you. And for those of you who still have some questions, there's an opportunity for you to type in at the Q&A box. But in the meantime, I'd like to thank you for, like what Sir Roger mentioned a while back, letting us into your homes. And thank you for opening your hearts and minds so that we can pour blessings of wisdom from resource speakers who were selfless and generous enough to give their services for free, to enrich you, to build you, to grow you, so that when this is all over, and we come to the new abnormal, just like what Sir Roger Colliantes, we're agile and we are full of grit. In the meantime, as we give to you without asking for anything in return, we're now giving you an equal opportunity to give something to others. And that is through Bayanihan Act 2020, especially the Bayan ng Mahayhay in Laguna. Whatever you will donate, and because you are blessed, and you have something that you'd like to share, whether it's 100 pesos, 200, 1,000 or so, may God bless your generous heart. Whatever it is, 100% of the proceeds will go to the Bayanihan Act, or the coming together of heroes, and the Bayan of Mahayhay. So I'd like you to visit the http://www.ariva.com.ph/donation. And this is a moment. Live the moment and thank the moment. And you know what? After all this is over, those people you've helped will be thankful. And they will be praying for you. That God Almighty will bless you all the more. So thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being with us. Now, I would like to call on Sir Roger. Basahin ko lang yung mga local participants natin, sir.
Sure.
Yan. Our questions are piling up already.
Hmm.
You have fans from Bacolod City, Bacoor City, Baguio City, Batangas City, Binian Laguna, Cabuyao Laguna, Cagayan de Oro City, Candelaria Quezon, Capas Tarlac, Carmona Cavite, Davao City, Lawag Northern Samar, Liloan Cebu, Lukban Quezon, Mabalacat Pampanga, Nagcarlan Laguna, Nasugbu Batangas, Quezon Province, San Fernando Pampanga, San Jose del Monte Bulacan, San Pedro Laguna, Santa Rosa Laguna, Toledo City Cebu, Tuguegarao City, Zamboanga City. Salamat mga Filipinos sa pagsuporta. Yan. Now, so Roger,
Yes.
as if As if the spiritual encouragement was not enough, we'll read on more questions for some more of the not only emotional recharging, but also spiritual recharging. So for our Zoom participants, please type in your question at the Q&A box. We also encourage you to do Zoom live questions. So Sir Roger can see you from Singapore, and you can answer Sir Roger personally your question, at least virtually. And for Facebook Live viewers, we are monitoring your comments. And we'll be giving you, of course, the airtime so that we can also answer your questions. Starting off with an anonymous attendee from the Q&A box here in the Zoom room. My takeaway on this presentation is self-awareness. The ability to identify and understand one's own emotions and how they affect oneself and others. My question is, how do we help others, especially those on the other side of the spectrum, discover and build self-awareness?
Okay. I think the first thing is we're gonna have lots of empathy, because for them to show you, or for you to show them how to have self-awareness, you have to be self-aware yourself of their situation. So I would say this is really a kind of coaching situation where you don't really teach those people who you want to help. You show them that you empathize with their pain, because right now there are less fortunate people who have more problems than we carry. So it's not easy to tell them, be aware, rise up. Most important is you should be able to learn how to empathize and say, I can understand where you're coming from. I got it. It's not as easy. In fact, I always tell people, I do not pretend that I know how much pain you're going through, but I could just imagine how tough it is to lose a job and still be hopeful. But my little advice is, then you go. So that's when you tell them, first thing is, you got to be aware that, are you aware of what's happening around? Are you awake to possibilities? Are you trying to keep yourself alive so that you can do something more? And while I cannot know exactly where you are, I can share with you my own thoughts about how I'm learning from the crisis. So technically, or if you want process-wise, you have to really be empathetic first.
That's right.
Before you can be helpful. That's my answer.
Thank you, Sir Roger. You know what? In my observation, I've been hosting the webinars of Ariva Academy for weeks. How many weeks now? And all the speakers, they agree on a common ground that from being result-oriented, leaders now have to be chief empathizers or chief empathic officers. So, tama ka, Sir Roger, empathy muna bago resulta. That's how COVID-19 flipped us all.
Yeah.
Cromwell Maestrado, when I encounter personal and professional challenges which doesn't go my way, how could I take control and take control of the opportunity to thrive or grow?
Okay, I need to have more data, so I will have to supply some data that is missing. So so could you repeat the first part of that question? When I am not in control?
Yes, because he encounters, or Cromwell encounters personal and professional challenges. And those challenges don't go away. And he would like to take control.
Okay. All right. So here's a very important thing. Be careful when you say take control. Because that's where it is. Take control doesn't mean you can determine where it's going to go. In today's COVID world, it's very hard to do that. If you lost a job, you don't know where it will go. If you're threatened with a job loss, you don't know. But what you can control, the first rule, is you can control your reaction to it.
Yes.
Okay? So there's a saying that it doesn't matter what happens to you, but what you do with what happens is more important. Okay. So it's the whole idea that control doesn't mean it will go my way, but control means I'm ready and I'm prepared for the worst to come. And I'm willing to take that I can lose my job and there's really nothing much I can do. I have my people that I need to manage, but I cannot see them. But whatever is the situation, I'll do my best. So I think this is the whole idea that I can be the best version of myself, even in the worst of time. So in summary, be careful with the word control.
Yes.
It's not about control. It's about doing what you can do something about.
Thank you so much, Sir Roger. At least you are managing our expectations. It's all about what's within our control. Now we have a Zoom live question. Who's the Zoom live question? What's the name, Ma'am Irish? Zoom live question. Message. Okay, Marie Navidad, are you here? Marie Navidad.
Hi, Marie.
Marie Navidad. Navida or Navidad? Navida.
Navidad.
Navidad. Hello, Ma'am Marie.
Yes, Navidad.
Hi, Marie. Marie.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon. Can I ask a question? Can you suggest other flip side techniques where we can use in everyday lives, both in personal and in work, in workplace? Can you suggest or any book?
Well, I can suggest my book, but it's
yes.
print, but palagay ko, Mary, you just practice the 3 ones. That will be good enough as a start. Okay, if you remember them. Good news, bad news. Okay. So in summary, the flip side is if you hear bad news, make your brain realize that there is a good news. Always. Number 2, blessing in disguise. Always ask yourself, what's the best that can happen, and what is the thing that this might bring to me that I never thought about? That's a blessing in disguise. Now you have more time, you can do something else. Maybe you learn how to cook, how to make, and then you can Google, how to make chocolates, how to make cookies. Suddenly, you become a baker and a cookie mom. All right? I mean, just practice those. Very simple. And number 3, attitude of gratitude. Before you end the day, force yourself to think, what can I say is what I'm really, really grateful for? And one last technique. This one might help you. To have that gratitude of attitude, always find a way to thank somebody every day or each day. When you answer this question, thank you for. Thank you for. I'll give you an example. Today I want to practice thank you for. That's number 4 technique. I go to my son and say, Roger, thank you for not being too polite today, huh? Thank you for listening to me, huh? You are so amazing, my son. By the way, thank you for bearing up with my race there. It's nothing about you. I love you, my son. So thank you for. The other one is thank you your husband. No? Thank you for not snoring last night. I had a peaceful evening, right? Now this one is very practical. Hey, by the way, hon, thank you for washing the dishes, no? I cook and you wash the dishes. I don't know which is easier, the cooking or the washing of the dishes. But because no maid, remember? There's so many simple things, Thank you for driving me around. Thank you for going out and have the pass and buying the grocery. Once you practice that thank you for, I can assure you, your life will change. Why? There's so many to be thankful for. So I gave you a 4th one. You can start doing that. And I hope you text me one day and say, my son and I are better friends now.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, thanks, Marie, for that question. Practical.
Thank you, Sir Roger. Thank you so much.
Have a great life.
Thank you, Ma'am Marie, and thank you, Sir Roger. Practical, applicable, fun, and realistic advice. Thank you, sir. Now, we have a pre-sent question, and this has been asked by June Prila. So, question of June Prila or Prilia. How do you institutionalize agile leadership and mindset in the organization in response to disruptions like this?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Mhm.
That person might be working for HR or maybe a
Mhm.
manager. Okay, the truth is agility is going to be the trend of the post-COVID. Okay, because even if you don't teach them, there are so many agile examples that happened during COVID.
Yeah.
One of the most common agile is food delivery, right? Everything is now express, no? Everything can be delivered within time frame and so on. So here's what you can, I'm not saying should, can teach your people. And this one I teach also people.
Mhm.
The customer's requirement has changed. It's now going to be very demanding. He wants real time, and he wants real answer, and he wants it quick. So
Mhm.
therefore, if you're a corporation or a company, you have no choice but to learn to be agile. So that means if you're still the old way where, okay, you have to file in HR, you
Mhm.
have to wait for 2 days before you will know you will get a loan. You gotta fix that. You gotta tell HR, how can you be a Grab? Give them a 60-hour challenge and say, what can you fix using Zoom, using this? Well, you can be paperless. Be agile means responsive.
Mhm.
Responsive. This is the big change. And I can give you lots and lots of examples, okay? Including, things like schooling, like right now. Distance learning is the new thing, right? I just came up with a response to that. Parents, even during when you go back, they want an agile education. They want something that's portable, that I can switch on, switch off. So we came up with distance learning. So for people like you, I'm very sure as a manager, I think you should challenge first the people in your department and say, learning from Grab, learning from my kuya, learning from Angkas. What are the things you
Mhm.
can do to sound like them, because they are now the new benchmark of service. Once you fix that, I tell you, you already have an agile organization. Here's what I do not suggest. You are a consultant like me, and we have a lesson on agility and all that nonsense. No, 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 no. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is force them, give them a challenge, and
Yeah,
say, how can we do it? And again, who is our customer? Our own people.
that's right.
If you're HR, your customer are your own employees. If you are serving, like in a bank, your customers, I tell you, one last, I don't want to prolong
Mhm.
it. When the new normal happens, you will not understand why your customer has changed. I
True.
thought, Howell is a nice guy.
Mhm.
But now he's so demanding. You say, how come I don't get it? I
Mhm.
can ask something, I can get it. I go to telemedicine, I ask for a medicine, it's delivered to me by a guardian.
Mhm.
What's wrong? I don't get it. And Howell will say, and I'll say, but Howell, you understand, we're a bank. We
Oh.
are slow. No, no, I don't understand. Howell will say, before I understand, but now I don't understand. Okay, so my short answer is you give them a challenge, you bench them against the experiences they already have.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't talk about Amazon. It's like, the one
Mhm.
you have, my kuya, angkas,
Dito sa
Grab.
Philippines.
Yan. Sabi mo sa kanila, can we be like this?
Yes.
That's it. For me, that's agile already.
Mhm.
And don't stop until their creative juices come up.
Thank you, Sir Roger. Alam niyo ba na sa August 24 ay opening na ang
Yes.
new natin, academic year?
Yes.
As a parent, I posted something na I'm worried for my child. Na August 24, babalik siya sa campus. And then, si Miss Kate Palanya, Rahimpur, nagustuhan ko yung comment niya, sabi niya, homeschooling.
Yeah.
So at least we can be agile. Kung yung bata sanay na nasa campus, baka ngayon, let's try homeschooling.
Yeah.
And
If to that, can I comment? Because
yes, sir,
this is the
sige.
future. Okay.
Hmm.
Because I just came up with a school called distance learning, right? It's called the
Mhm.
new virtual school, right? Okay. Many parents, just like you, will still be scared to send them
Mhm.
to the real school.
Mhm.
And they will be doubling into distance learning for quite a while.
Yes.
Okay? So unless you have an alternative, it's going to be hard for you to do that. So that's why we came up with that alternative. This is something that we're launching in June.
Wow.
Will enable people like you to, handhold your kid. So we will prepare him for the big school
True.
digitally.
Wow.
So we will create a classroom digitally using virtual, digital, online. And so he is ready to go back. And this is a very good point. Not many people realize it. Your kid will have an anxiety, coming back to school.
True.
Not only you, don't worry. Mom, Dad, you're not the only one who's scared about this separation anxiety. Your kid too.
Yeah.
Especially if he's enjoying distance learning, he'll say, Mom, I just stay at home na lang. Kasi I can still see teacher matrix, no? I like my school, Mom. And by the way, it's only 1 hour a day, no? If I go to school, it's 3 hours. But with 1 hour, I'm having more fun.
Wow.
That's the option. Yeah.
You're an agile entrepreneur, Sir Roger. Let us know of your school.
Yes.
Let us know so that it's based in Singapore, right?
No. It's based in the
US.
No.
Okay.
It's virtual. So
it's virtual.
Yeah.
So that wherever we are in the world, we can enroll virtually. Thank you, Sir Roger. Ayan, excited na ako as a father. Anonymous attendee, how to stay positive when everyone is in your household? Ulitin ko. How to stay positive when everyone in your household, especially the elders, are negative towards this crisis?
Gandang tanong yan. Very practical, okay? This is the time when you have to bring out again the best patience you have in life, okay? Because now you're in close proximity and you will see some generational gaps coming up, okay? Your grandma, your mother-in-law, they will be very hard pressed. They will not be where you are. Okay? Your kids will not also be where you are. And so this is where, instead of waiting for them to change, I would put the onus on myself. Okay? If I demonstrate more understanding, okay, I always say to people, why do you have to shout to your mom? It's like, if she knew the answer and she was agile, I'm very sure she will not answer like that. She's coming from something, okay? Oh, don't shout at your kid like that. He is as harassed as you because he still wants attention, but you're not giving it. And here's the problem for the kid, okay? He sees you as the mom. He doesn't see you as an educator. So there's a conflict. It's like, you're my teacher, mom, but can I be absent? Okay, can I choose another teacher? No, right? So what I'm saying is this. This is the time when, since you are the enlightened one, you have to show them that you are the one who is enlightened. So you will just have to show them that you are positive, the way you affirm people, the way you celebrate the blessing you have. Eventually, it will slowly, affect people. Your mom, if your mom keeps hearing you to say, "Thank you, mommy, for being understanding," "Thank you, son," eventually he will say, "By the way, thank you for the food you cook, it's good, Okay. So what I'm saying is, you start with Howell, you start with yourself, all right? And do not expect the things to happen first, because that will be part of the problem. You are the ones who attended my workshop. Your mom didn't attend, your son did not attend, your husband did not attend. The mindset will be different. So patience is important, I think.
Thank you, Sir Roger. So be the enlightened one.
Yeah.
Be the one to walk the higher road. Anonymous attendee, I actually don't participate in our office Viber group because I didn't like the two of them reacted and replied on my request for data to complete my work. Kind of offensive. Today, I just found out I am not emotionally and socially agile. How to flip such emotions here?
Okay. All right. So let's talk about emotion. So let's put the context. What I'm hearing is I have non-cooperative teammates, and my results are dependent on them. How can I use what you told me in order to get out of the situation, isn't it? Okay. Now this one is a bit tricky because we don't know the other person. Okay. Obviously, if they're not enlightened, the same thing will happen again. Okay. So you can actually flip it by thinking like, they are still open to ideas, and telling them something like this is what I will do. I would say, Howell, I know you're busy, and I also know you have your priority, but I really wish you can help me succeed so I can succeed together, because there's a data that I cannot, without you giving me that data, I cannot complete. So my request is, if you will be kind enough to give me that data so I can be able to complete my task, and I will consider it a great gratitude, if you can do that. The thing what I'm saying is, you cannot do it by going and confronting the person. I suggest, well, there's no reason why you cannot give it, because it's very digital. And I asked this the other day, I could already tell you that's called a meltdown. All right? Sure. That's not gonna go anywhere. So the way I would suggest is, be the blessing. Okay, there are two types of people, by the way, right? You could either be the blessing or a warning to others. So I choose to be the blessing to others and say, I need you, I can't do it, and I wish, if it's within your power, I wish you give me a date when I can have it, so my expectations are clear, and I will consider that a favor. Wow. You try it. You text me after this, and you say, Roger, surprisingly, he gave it to me. Wow. So these are, again, the whole idea starts from you. I think Howell will summarize that. Everything is within you. Remember, I say it's something you can control. There's a lot you cannot control, how people will behave, but you can control your reaction so that you can influence them to change the reaction. Sure. Is it 100% sure? Not sure. I can tell you it's worth trying. If it works 50% of the time, isn't that worth trying?
It is. Thank you, Sir Roger. Galing talaga ng mga sagot. Sir, we have a Zoom live question from Cromwell Maestrado. Hi, Cromwell.
Hi, Cromwell.
Hello, Sir Howell. Good afternoon, Sir Howell. It's, again, another great opportunity for collaboration. And
nice to see you again, sir.
Me too, Sir Howell. Thank you, sir. And also, Sir Roger. My pleasure, sir. Good afternoon. Yes, sir. Actually, just have a very quick question regarding the main subject matter we are discussing today. Most specifically on the thriving part, because the thriving may include and incorporate some notions on adapting maybe the new normal. And of course, agility takes place on the adaptation of this thriving concept. Yeah, it's just a new dimension of how you live life. And part of thriving is being adaptable and agile. I believe so. If you still hear and probably recall the question I made on the chat earlier regarding taking control, because part of agility is taking control of your destiny as part of your slides earlier. So the only perplexing fact and question that is boggling my mind right now is making our life more thriving and adaptable to the new normal. Because if you want to live, a new normal, you have to be exceptional maybe and live an extraordinary life. Sometimes you have to give up maybe some things that are part of a normal one. So my question is, there are people. Extraordinary life is really rare. I believe so. And in my organization and even in our society today, I believe that that's my personal opinion. It really sets up the average and probably the mediocre lives. Like technology has it made it too easy to get distracted. and focus sometimes. So my only question is, how could we maintain this competency, like for example agility, to adapt on the thriving dimension of our life today? Because sometimes a new normal means maybe divorce, or maybe a new normal means to say death, or a new normal maybe loneliness, or a new normal maybe materialism, or a new normal maybe a settling for less. So my question is, how can we get rid of these things and more positive in outlook in life, in thriving, other than surviving?
That's a very good question. Actually, I have to say, Cromwell, you summarized my book very well. I don't know if you read it, but it sounds like you wrote the book for me. Okay, here's really what I think I resonate with you. Okay, thriving doesn't have to mean that you have an extraordinarily different life. Okay? Thriving are incremental things that you do to become the best part of yourself. Okay? So the way I would put it is, thriving is doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way. All right, ordinary things in an extraordinary way. The extraordinary is what thriving is. Okay, extraordinary means you still go to work. That means you will still have to deal with obnoxious people. All right, fine. You still have to deal with traffic. But extraordinarily means that you have a new perspective to it. But what that mean? It means it's testing your character, no? Testing my patience, testing my ability to, handle different types of people. So this is the thriving part. So I totally agree with you. It's not an easy thing, huh?
Yeah.
It's not something like after attending this seminar, most people will say, "Oh, I got it. I got the concept." No. Sorry, you gotta practice, like what you said. I want to make sure that I live it daily, and thriving is doing things extraordinarily, and it's incremental. I get to keep improving. If it means, and you mentioned this, huh? If it means sometimes divorce or something, I'm not recommending, but I'm saying, sometimes, and I tell you this with due respect, because I do a lot of coaching and counseling. Sometimes the only best solution is to have social distance. And the important thing is they parted friends, and that they both agree that that's the situation, and they both move on. I think that's basic. I'm not promoting divorce. I'm just saying it could also mean this, just let's work divorce. It could mean, Cromwell, that when you wake up tomorrow, you realize that this is not the deal I want anymore. I don't want this place anymore. It's like, why will I sacrifice with this boss that I can't stand and people who I can't deal with? I have outgrown them thanks to COVID. Okay. So it could mean saying to yourself, I got to find a replacement. Maybe I should be an entrepreneur and startup, I don't want any more 8 to 5. Maybe I don't really, maybe I deluded myself thinking like going to work 8 to 5 is a good deal. Now, after COVID, I realized I don't miss the work, no? So here is where I'm saying this is where the extraordinary comes. When people are able to say, I accept that this is the reality, I'm going to rise above it and I'm going to thrive. That's what I said. Don't be bitter, get better. So getting better doesn't mean everything is back to normal. That doesn't mean I have to live with what I used to live with. There will be a lot of these things, trust me. By the way, coaches and counselors will be very busy after COVID. Business will be very good, okay? Because people are resolving this question that Cromwell asked. It's not his own life. He's just asking, how do you do that? So my advice is, and let me summarize. I always like to summarize. Thriving means doing ordinary things in an extraordinary way with a touch of thriving put in it. It's not something that happens quickly. It's incremental. It's a process.
Yes,
All along.
exactly. It's processual and probably contextual in nature as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Thanks
Thank you so much.
Thank you for reading my book and summarizing.
Yes, sir. That's a good start.
And thank you, Sir Cromwell, for
Thank you, sir.
always participating and asking your questions live. Thank you so much.
Anytime, sir. Thank you so much,
Sir Cromwell.
Still have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too, sir. Now, Sir Roger, time flies so fast. Grabe. So we're just 7 minutes shy of 2 hours.
Really?
So can you still accommodate just
of course.
one?
Of course.
Okay. I'm torn between the many questions here.
Sige,
pili ako yung para ng mga sa frontliners natin. Pasensya na po sa hindi natin mababasa. This is from a frontliner, Sherry Ann Gail Sadi. As mentioned earlier, we know that the recovery rate in the Philippines is low compared to the other Asian countries.
Yeah.
If a frontliner would ask you, seeing these things going on, how us frontliners can see the good side of this crisis, not just thinking about surviving this.
I know.
Thank you, Ma'am Cherry Ann.
Thank you,
This is in behalf of all the medical frontliners and essential workers who are out there risking their lives for us all.
First of all, Cherry Ann, thank you for asking the question. But before I answer it, I just want to say, in behalf of all the people, I'm very sure, if there's one new phenomenon I've seen after this, the new heroes are the ones in front, those handling those kind of cases, between life and death. So I could only say I'm absolutely amazed that you guys do it. And if there's anything I learned, sometimes when the calling, a higher calling comes, it's a purpose-driven life, So none of you ever say, oh, I wish I could get away. You have the purpose and you have the passion to do it. That's why you're doing that. So please accept my sincere congratulations and appreciation. Now, addressing the issue. Here's the most difficult part. And I'm not a frontline, but I have read the most difficult part is to see that you are helpless to help this person, because either you don't have the supplies, you don't have the tools. And seeing and hearing people leave this world without even the solace of having their loved ones around them, that must be the most painful. And some people say it's painful for the family, but I like to think it's more painful for the caregiver and the front line. Because there you are, you did everything, and you know that if only we had this, ventilators, we had this, PPE, we had this, and you know that time is running out. I heard some of my friends say they cry when they arrive home or on the way home because they cannot remove from their mind that thing that happened where they feel totally helpless. I wish I can really answer your question, and I wish I could really have a quick one answer. But what I want to say is this: that is the true test of thriving. When you have two choices, you can actually blame your hospital, you can blame the medical, you can blame DOH, you can blame the government. But that pain you see, you cannot remove that. That's the only thing you can control, correct? You cannot, I'm not suggesting don't ask. I'm saying you can ask. But the only thing you have control of is how you take care of that life in front of you and how you become a representative of humanity to say, I wish you peace and I wish I could have done more. Yeah. I want you to know that it's not wasted. Many frontliners tell me that, the only satisfaction here is you were the last person they see. Sometimes you are the last hand that they will hold. The small hand that you press them with their breathing and to say, let's do it together.
Yeah.
and they give their last breath, all I can say is, I wish there are many people like you who are brave enough to do that. So I can only say, as I said, I started by saying, I don't really know how that will feel. I can only imagine. But I wish you the best, because in those moments, that's when you grow several, notch taller, because you actually absorb humanity. And for me, every frontliner is a thriver. I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
Thank you, Sir Roger, and thank you to the thriving frontliners, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world. So with that, Sir Roger, we'd like to ask you for the takeaway. We're already home, but the last minute of our interview would be, what do you want us to take away? We've taken a lot already in.
Yeah. Okay.
But last word, sir.
I will just go back to my final message. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just remember the three. Don't waste a good crisis. This is good. Good for you. Good for everybody. Number two, take care of your emotion. Okay. Your expectations. Just get better. Learn something out of it. Things you cannot control, you fight for it. When you can do anything about it, just manage the way you respond to yourself, to the people around you. And number three, this is my very important message. You know that thriving is really not such a very difficult thing to do. I'll tell you why. Thriving is a button that you actually have. You will be amazed that under stressful situation, let's think about the frontliners. I'm very sure they told themselves, I don't know how I can handle it. But when you're there, you just press that button called thriving, and suddenly you amaze yourself and say, hey, I'm doing it. Okay, so here's my good advice. God gave you a button. It's called the thriver button. Okay? Don't even look at me. Don't even look at the notes. It's there. So here's my suggestion. Use it, because you'll be amazed. You are made of hard stuff. And everything I told you, that's not extraordinary. You just have to press that button. And to all of those, and my final message to all of you on the front line, thank you for being the representative of humanity. Thank you for pressing that button. Because you have taught us by your action. We need to press the button in our own lives when we need to. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Sir Roger. Everybody put your hands together. Wonderful experience. 2 hours of enrichment coming from Sir Roger. Sir Roger, I'm looking forward to seeing you once again face to face when all of these lockdown mandates are lifted and when God permits. Thank you, sir. God bless you, your kids, your wife. Be blessed and thrive some more in Singapore.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for everyone, thank you, sir. And as Sir Roger fades out of the screen, fades in Miss Irish Malonda. Wow. We're now being flooded with gratitude and message of thanks.
Clap, clap, clap. Thank you so much, Sir Roger Collantes, for a very fun, refreshing, inspiring session. So, sabi ko nga, Sir Howell, in a snap, parang it took away my anxieties, my worries in this uncertain time. So, that was really refreshing. Thank you. A big hand to Sir Roger Collantes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, sir.
Okay, may tatanong ka sa akin.
Of course, takeaway. And also to our participants, share with us your takeaways, the nuggets of wisdoms that you got to with the session of Sir Roger Collantes.
Ako, I have a realization. Kasi last year, the Roger Collantes I know was this AI, very logical, intellectual, future-oriented person. And that's a beautiful side of Sir Roger.
With Cruiser,
now,
the robot. Yeah.
Diba? The robots, the AI. But now, the Roger Collantes I saw, we all have seen, is the father, the husband, the fellow Filipino, the coach, the teacher who feels and connects. and
I agree.
teaches us so much. So thank you, sir. So that's my best takeaway, that he's not only analytical, he's also creative, but not most importantly, puso ni Sir Roger. Yun ang pinakagusto ko.
I agree. Mine is, of course, the mindset, two mindsets, agility and grit.
Iyan, magaling ka dyan.
Yes. Okay. So, Sir Howell, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, alam mo yan.
I'll be seeing you on Monday for our another session.
So 2 days akong bakasyon. Yes, Saturday, Sunday.
Have a great weekend, Sir Howell.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Don't go away. Thank you, Miss Irish.
Okay. So for those of you guys, please stay tuned because I have lots of announcements to make. And hello first to Sir Eric Manalo, Jobar, J. Chan of Cebu City, and Diesel Santos of Marikina City. And guys, we would like to thank our win-win partners who help us make this event possible. So for our official media partner, thank you to Art Plus Magazine, Focus Media Partner, Globaltronics, City Advertising Ventures, Outcome, Elevate Media. For win-win partners, thank you to Brother, Faber-Castell, Glutacy, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo, Lotus Biscoff. Thank you also to Boss Job, Sir Technology Inc., Finma Properties, Salary Jet, Ilawi Korea, Kitulsunan Corpo Consulting, Enchanted Kingdom, Disperse, Cosmetech Philippines Inc. And if you want to place your ads here, advertise your company, your services, your logo, have a brand exposure to thousands of viewers, please email us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. And if you want to know our upcoming online learning sessions, please like our Facebook page. It's Ariva Academy Philippines Inc. And we also live streaming our e-learning sessions on our Facebook page. So don't forget to like us. And if you want to watch the replay of our e-learning sessions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. It's a library of e-learning sessions that you can share also to your colleagues, office mates, and boss. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Our upcoming online learning sessions, please register. Of course, we would like to invite you on our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. We have invited international and local subject matter experts. Actually, this session is also a part of our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. We would like to invite you, May 11, data privacy concerns during a pandemic, protecting personal data in the time of COVID-19. Don't forget, this will be on Monday. Register. We have invited attorney James Earl Chu to discuss this session. Another e-learning session, COVID-19, Google and You, boosting your productivity using Google tools. This will be on Tuesday, May 12, and we have invited Dr. Ed Canela to talk about this. Another live webinar series for a cost solutions-oriented leadership, how to survive and thrive during a crisis. And we have invited an international guru, Dr. Rick Goodman from United States, to talk about this. Don't forget, Wednesday, May 13th. Another live webinar series, rethinking customer intimacy strategies during the pandemic. This will be on Wednesday in the afternoon, 3 to 4:30 p.m. And we have invited again Professor Ricky De Vera to share with us his thoughts on this. We would like to invite you on another e-learning masterclass. We have Mr. Jonathan Yabot to discuss this, the Asia's Millennial Guru, leading a work-from-home workforce, how to manage and develop remote teams. This will be on May 14, 4 to 6 p.m. So please join us. Another e-learning session, live webinar series for a cause, find your voice of resiliency so that you lead with confidence. This will be on Friday, May 15 in the morning, 10:30 to 11:30. This will be discussed by Mr. Paul Larson from United States. And if you want to customize an e-learning session exclusive for your company, for your team, please do reach me at 0916-695-4418, or you can email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com. And guys, thank you for joining us today. Hope that you learned a lot from Mr. Roger Collante's session. I hope to see you again on Monday. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. This is Irish Malonda Samson in Ariva. It's all about being better, be safe, and stay home, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.